Have you ever considered the impacts of your past to your present, or ever considered just how connected your life is with others? Hello, I'm Naomi, the host of Letters from the Chosen podcast. In this podcast, I share key moments from my childhood of how I went from life in rural West Africa to life in the United States. And I hope that by sharing my story, you get to see just how intricately involved God is in the details of our lives. In each episode, I hope you will take the time to reflect about your own past and be inspired to share your own story. Please share any insights you gain and let's grow together. I look forward to you joining with me each week. Let the story begin.
The Covering. Madame C. J. Walker once said, "I want the great masses of my people to take a greater pride in their personal appearance and to give their hair proper attention." This sounds like a simple goal to attain, right? It's something that we should be able to easily complete each day. Just wake up, quickly style your hair, and head out the door. But not so much. Well, at least it wasn't easy for me. One of the biggest challenges we faced, Mom, was maintaining my hair. There I was, this African child with natural hair, which was unlike any of your other children's hair textures. Appearance was very important at the time, especially when it came to black hair. There was a negative stigma if your hair wasn't freshly pressed or relaxed. The natural hair movement had not begun yet. So there you were, a white American woman with fine, dark hair, trying to figure out what to do with my thick 4C hair. It was a daunting task, and there was pressure on both of us. I would be subject to ridicule at the school, and you would receive judgmental looks if we didn't get it right. You had to get it right, Mom, for both of our sakes. So here we go. I remember sitting in the bathroom and you attempting to comb through my hair. Now, I realized that those small tooth combs were not the best for my hair, and the large tooth combs were much better. It caused a lot less yanking and pulling on my strands, but we didn't know that then. So after you combed through my hair, you would usually leave it in a fro style or do little braids and attach barrettes at the end of my hair. You got it done, but it was a struggle. Then God sent us some unexpected help. I had begun attending classes with you at your preschool. There was a Black American girl in one of the classes you taught named Monica. Her mother, Mrs. Stevenson, offered to help with my hair. Mrs. Stevenson rapidly became a close family friend of ours. I remember she would have me over at the house to get my hair braided by a hairdresser. I had a lot of hair and I remember it hurting sometimes. She would order buckets of fried chicken during lunchtime. It was so delicious. She didn't just get my hair braided. She also took me, along with her children, on fun trips. She would usually take us to see shows in Philly. It was so fun to ride in her car for our trips because she had a TV. I had never seen a car with a TV before. So buckets of fried chicken and cartoons during the car ride, I was so there. She was wonderful, and I likened her to a fairy godmother. I would leave my house with a poofy mass of hair on top of my head and emerge with a beautiful, fresh style. We'd have delicious food and then go to a show. Yep, I felt like Cinderella. As I got older, I didn't want braids anymore. I wanted to be able to wear my hair pressed or permed like the other girls in the school. Looking back, I wish I had just stuck with the box braids and the 3-strand braids that you did with my natural hair. Well, you went to work to straighten my hair. I remember you purchased a gold hot comb. That hot comb was nothing but pain. I would get little burns on the tip of my ears each time you went through the sides of my hair with that comb. I would feel the hard, hot metal teeth of the comb grazing through my scalp as my roots became straightened and thinned out. I think I twitched every time you brought that hot comb near me. I remember you warning me to stay still so you wouldn't burn me. It was a little bit hard since I could feel the heat emanating from the comb even from a distance. I learned at an early age that beauty was pain. But I would try my best to sit still to get my hair finished as quickly as possible. After my hair was straightened, you would do your classic style of half up and half down. I loved to adorn my hair with butterfly clips afterwards. The finishing touch would be a half bottle of hairspray. Okay, probably was not half bottle of hairspray, but you used a ton of hairspray to hold my hair and keep it from frizzing back up. My hair felt more like a cardboard cutout than actual locks of hair. I couldn't complain though because my hair held up throughout the school day and I received lots of compliments. The other rage at the time was relaxers. A company called Just For Me had hair relaxing line for children. Although the relaxers could be hazardous, it provided a quick way to straighten our hair. It also provided a much longer lasting sleek look than the hot comb could produce. I remember when we attempted the Just For Me relaxing hair kit. I can still see the white box with the pink writing and the beautiful light-skinned girl with sleek black hair smiling happily. Propaganda had already started to set in. If we put that mousse in my hair, I'd have beautiful hair and I would also be beautiful, just like the girls on the covers of the boxes. I was all in and excited to try this new instant beauty kit. I remember you mixing the elaborate concoction and applying it to my hair ever so carefully to avoid it touching my skin. If the mix sat on your skin too long, it could burn your skin. After applying the mix, you would set the timer on the microwave, and I would sit and wait for the relaxer to do its magic. It was important to watch the relaxer out of my hair at a reasonable time because it could burn off your hair. There was a girl in my 4th grade class who told us that that very thing had happened to her hair. She had very thin, almost wispy strands of hair, so thin that you could see her scalp. She explained that her mother had put the relaxer in her hair, then had left to go run an errand. When she came back to wash out the mix, chunks of her hair flowed out, leaving her with bald spots. I probably told you this story, Mom. I didn't want you to burn my hair, but it was all worth it and even worth the risk because after using relaxer, my hair was definitely a lot more manageable. But that didn't last too long. After several weeks, my hair would start growing out and I would need a touch-up of my roots with the hot comb or more of the relaxer. And remember the pink lotion, Mom? You'd coat my hair with pink lotion to try to keep my hair moisturized. Relaxing my hair was stressful and it required you to set aside a portion of the day to do my hair, so we didn't keep up with it as often as we should. I had mixed emotions about the hair relaxer. The more relaxers and products my hair received, the more stubborn it became. When the relaxer had been freshly applied to my hair would be silky smooth, but once my hair began to grow out, it would become coarse and difficult to comb through. I didn't recognize this new hair on my head. Back home, Amma would style my hair with a comb and hair yarn with no problem. It didn't even really hurt. I would get my hair braided by the local women in my hometown within a couple of hours. It wasn't as challenging to manage or grow my hair as it had been since I moved to the States. My hair had become unfamiliar to me, an ominous cloud looming over my head. It was difficult for both of us to manage. Someone recommended a hair salon in the shopping plaza near the preschool where you worked. I don't remember the name of the shop, and it's no longer in business. I started going to that salon every few months to get my hair relaxed. I really liked going to that salon. They were very professional and they gave me tips on how to maintain my hair. I remember that at the salon, the hairdresser left the relaxer in my hair much longer than you did, Mom. When the timer went off, she would walk over, poke at my roots, and leave the mix in my hair a little longer. I remember one time I felt my scalp itching, and she told me that I needed more time. I can't complain because when she washed out the mix, my hair was beautiful. My first day at the salon, the owner showed me different oils to put in my hair. The oils were expensive, but she explained that it would help to protect my hair from breakage. She also went over how to brush my hair and to wrap my hair at night to protect my ends while I slept. She gave me a bag of products to take home. On the product display was a Black woman with beautiful black hair. I stared at the photo and wished that I could be as beautiful as her. Beauty had become synonymous with hair, so I thought I wasn't beautiful. I only felt beautiful when I got my hair relaxed. That's when I would receive compliments. Classmates would tell me that I looked older and that I was beautiful. Aside from that, no one really told me that I was pretty or attractive in any way. I would even pray to be just as pretty as my friends. I had friends who did amateur modeling, cheering, and were on the step team. They usually came to school looking correct. I felt like the ugly duckling amongst my group of friends. They would make comments to me such as, "Naomi, you'd be so pretty if you..." Then they'd give their suggestions of how I needed to straighten my hair, wear my hair down, wear makeup, and so forth. But I was also a lot more restricted on how I could dress and look than they were. As you know, we had a big modesty rule at our house. No makeup for me, no bikinis, no short shorts. On top of all this, the majority of my clothes were hand-me-downs. These were generous donations from friends of ours at our church. I got so many bags of clothes that they were piled up in our basement, and I loved going through each one of them. I tried on each piece. When I assembled an outfit, though, some of them were a little dated or mismatched, so I got some laughs and comments from my siblings and my friends at school. I would save my birthday money to go shopping with my mom at Foreman Mills to get some new pieces. That was the store to really make a dollar stretch. Appearance was such a big deal, and I felt like I didn't make the cut. At a time when my classmates were rocking baby fat and Rocawear, my hand-me-downs just didn't quite fit in. So I felt like I was failing between my clothes and my hair, but I did my best to make it work. After the 8th grade, I decided that I was done with the relaxers. It was expensive and it altered my hair too much. I would long for my thick curly hair after my hair had been relaxed. The following year, I became friends with one of the girls in our after-school program. She had her hair pressed and curled by her aunt who owned a hair salon near our school. Her mother gave us the salon information for me to also get my hair done. I really liked the press and curl because it looked just as good as a fresh perm, but it took a lot less time and it required less harsh chemicals. So the press and curl was the solution for my hair until I began college. My school was remotely located, and there were no black hair salons in close proximity, and I didn't have a car to be able to drive to the neighboring city. I attempted to straighten my hair on my own with my straightener the first couple of years. It was difficult to find the time to straighten my hair between classes, working on campus, and spending time with my friends. I finally resorted to wearing my hair fully natural, no straightening. I was nervous at first, and I had to build up confidence to wear my hair in its natural fro. I remember I was nervous for you to see it, Mom. So when I first saw you, I pulled it up in a ponytail. And apparently, it made me more attractive to guys. I got into my first 2 serious relationships when I began wearing my hair in a fro. I'm like, really? When I stop trying is when the attention comes? One of my friends had shared with me that she had also wanted to wear her hair natural, but she was worried about how it would affect her ability to get work after school. I wondered why it was such a stigma to wear our hair natural, and why we had to work so hard to achieve a certain look. I remembered how easy it was for Jess to manage her hair. She could just let her hair air dry and go. No relaxers, no hot combs, no hair pressing, hair lotions, or heavy oils. She didn't have to spend hours on her hair, and I wondered why I had to. My hair was robbing me of both time and my self-worth. So I continued wearing my hair in a natural fro, and I would get braids whenever I was able to get to the salon. It would not be until adulthood when I would fully commit to my natural hair. I could fully commit to it then because I finally saw myself as beautiful. My beauty was not defined by my state of hair, and since I believed I was beautiful, my hair was beautiful too. I wanted to treat myself and my hair with respect and gentleness. In the past, I used to beat myself down and be so harsh with my hair because I was frustrated with trying to manage it. As I became more comfortable with my natural hair and began using natural products, I saw a difference in my hair. The less products I used, the more manageable my hair was. It became softer, puffy, and the natural curl pattern returned. It required less of my time, and I was able to manage it by myself. I could wash my hair, comb it out, and pull it into a bun and head out the door. As I embraced my hair and became intentional about wearing it as it was, it became easier and easier to do so. And guess what? I received more compliments than ever about my natural hair. People would tell me that my hair was so beautiful. Yep, my hair and the word beautiful put together in the same sentence. I no longer viewed my hair as an ominous black cloud. No, my hair was a crown covering my head. See, I was beautiful all along, but I had no idea. Beauty was associated with what was on top of my head, and what was on top of my head was seen as difficult and burdensome. And I equated that definition with myself. I was difficult to manage and a burden to bear. How sad it was that I based an aspect of my worth on something that would fall out daily. The average person sheds between 50 and 100 hairs a day. That's in one day. Our hair is literally here today and gone tomorrow. According to the Bible, the hair was given to women as a covering, so I cherish it. It is an added blessing and not a burden to me anymore. It adds to my beauty, but it does not define it. I have fun with my hair now, and I enjoy trying intricate styles with it. Other days, I like to just wash my hair and go. There's no pressure. It's beautiful just as it is. I am no longer trying to attain a standard of beauty that is unattainable. It is unattainable because there is no standard, and trying to meet society's model of beauty is daunting and discouraging. It's trying to be a copy of something that I'll never be, and the copy can never be as good as the original. So why not embrace myself and be the original masterpiece I was created to be? Beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. And if the beholder doesn't find me beautiful, then they weren't meant to walk with me in my story. The more I am myself, the more I draw the right people into my life who affirm and encourage me. Beauty is also within. It's the character, the personality, the heart, the gifts, perspectives, and visions of a person. That's what makes him or her beautiful. And the hair? Well, it's just a covering, and you get to adorn it as you like.